So this will live stream on Instagram. This is going to live stream on Instagram.
On Facebook and YouTube.
Locale.
Local.
Shock.
Locale.
Cambiamento.
تغيير
جرجلكتر
Chakula ijayo. Food. Change. We are.
Welcome to the Slow Food Youth Network podcast.
Locale.
Local.
Shock.
Locale.
Cambiamento.
تغيير
جرجلكتر
Chakula ijayo. Food. Change.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the SFYN podcast. My name is Valentina Gritti. I'm your host and I'm the Global Community and Project Manager of the Slow Food Youth Network. We are here today in the last special episode recorded live at Terra Madre. Today is actually the last day of Terra Madre, so you're gonna hear that our voices are a bit exhausted because we have had a lot of intense days, a lot of beautiful activities. So we are really happy, but also a bit tired.
Exhausted, yes.
And also this morning we have a bit of a surprise because so last night there was a Terra Madre party and then we lost some of our youth this morning, and also one of the guests that we were supposed to have, Raul, apparently he stayed in the hotel this morning, so we have a special guest instead of him, Cecilia, who is still from Mexico, but she managed to come in the morning. And let me introduce you to these two special guests. So today the topic is how we can feed our cities. So how we can have food regenerations in our cities. And we have Pasang Sherpa, who came here directly from Nepal. And Pasang, he has a background in business administration. He's still studying. But meanwhile, he's also a hotel manager at Hotel Bodhis in Kathmandu.
Yeah.
And he comes from the Sherpa indigenous community, which is famous because they live close to the Mount Everest. And but there is a lot to find out about this culture. So not only about the fact that they are mainly the only ones that can climb the Mount Everest, but there is a lot of food culture that we can discover. And he also wrote a booklet about that. You have it here. You can show it to the people that are watching the live stream. So it's about the Sherpa culture and the cuisine. Then you can also tell us something about the booklet. And so he's gonna tell us how in his hotel he manages to introduce the Sherpa traditional cuisine and to make it known by the local people. And then we have here Cecilia Barrocio from Tlaxcala, from Mexico. And she has also an amazing project of eco-gastronomy. So she really has a network of local producers who she really tries to support, and she delivers also these products to the people living in Tlaxcala. And so she has a lot of knowledge on local biodiversity, local food culture, and also on how to make it known by the people in the city. So welcome also,
Thanks, thank you.
and welcome, Pasang.
Thank you, Valentina.
And so before starting, I would like to ask you a bit of background information. So on the situation in general regarding food and food sustainability in your cities. So maybe we can start with you, Pasang.
Sure. So currently I've been living in Kathmandu, which is the capital city of our country. The foods are generally quite similar in everyday perspective. But I have been in this, it's more like the rat race, and the cultures have been forgotten. People have been forgetting their cultures. They have been more money-minded rather than the cultures and stuff. So I've started to realize the fact that we need to energize, we need to revitalize or rebirth our cultures, our communities, and our identities. So I've been trying to do that personally in my personal level, and to extent I'm trying to aware other people as well. But it's very hard for me to do three things because I'm a student as well, and I'm also managing a hotel for my livelihood.
Yeah.
And I also want to do this. So it's quite tough. And Terra Madre, this slow food, has been a platform for me, and I'm very, very motivated due to the fact that the Elena, Kum, Dai, they are from the indigenous community. They have been very supportive to me. Thank you.
Yeah. And when did you move to Kathmandu?
No, actually, I was very young when we came to Kathmandu. So, in fact, to be honest, I do not know my cultural language. And one day, since I worked in a hotel, and one of our customers, one of our guests, asked me, "So what's up with your culture? And do you speak your language?" And the way he tried to express that, I really felt that, oh, my culture, and I do not know my language, and my generations will not know since I cannot teach them. So it really hit me at a point where I thought like, this has to be stopped. We have to regrow the culture. So yeah, that's a part of where I try to started doing all this.
Okay, thank you, Fasan.
Okay.
And Cecilia, how does the situation look like in Tlaxcala? Yeah, are people aware of like local biodiversity, local food culture, or do you see also that there is a loss and a disconnection between, for example, farmers and people in the city?
Okay. Yes, there is a disconnection, but it's also a life culture there in Tlaxcala. It's in a small state. It's the smallest state in Mexico, but for the region where it's located, it's very biodiverse. So there are a lot of different kind of foods, vegetables, a lot of traditional cuisine, traditional cookers, and it exists. It's not. It hasn't died. It exists and is alive. That culture, but in the cities, it happens that many of us that we are in the city, the urban people, forgets that now, or the young people in the that lives within the rural areas wants to go to the city, and that is what is happening now. But it's I hope, and then there is my hope that as the culture exists, you can do something to connect that to worlds, no, between the urban environment and the rural and agriculture environment.
Mm-hmm. And are there still farmers markets where people in the city can buy local products, or where can they find them?
Yes, they can, but unfortunately, they are not very popular. You know, there is two or three, maybe three markets, local markets, but they have like 15 years, and there it's people living in the city that don't know that that exists. You know, and that's the thing. There are the places, there are the producers. The the state is so small. It's possible to consume to the products. No, it's not difficult to make them arrive to the city. So it's just to make awareness of the urban people, that let them know that there are things that they can eat near from there instead of going to the supermarket and this stuff.
Yeah. And your project actually is based on that, right? Can you explain us how it works?
Yes, it began because of the pandemic stuff, because the people used to go to the supermarkets and Some of them used to go to this local market also, but the government don't allow to put the market in a presence way. So the people that you used to go there can't buy there, and they don't want to go to the supermarket. And the ones that go to the supermarket, many of them were old people and can't ask for the products in the phone, or they don't want to do it. They're not used to do it. They don't used to pay with the credit card. They want to go and they want to buy, but they can't because pandemic stuff. So we make this project and we organized as consumers and with the producers to make a collective um, askings, I don't know, collective
Survey.
Like the month or
pedidos, como
Uh,
baskets, collective,
yeah, baskets you can say, yeah.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
collective
Mhm.
basket of product or of
Mhm.
local products. Each one can ask, I want an apple, I want to, I don't know, whatever. And we told to the producers, this is what we need this week. And then we organize as consumers, okay, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours.
Mhm. So
The-
the consumers, they ask in advance
yes,
which products they want,
Yes.
and then you go to the farmers, and then you tell them like how much the things are, and then after that you come back and you gather the product.
yes. They,
Okay.
yes,
Mhm.
it's like a delivery, a local delivery.
Uh-huh. Is it like on a weekly basis or
Weekly
how-
basis, and it depends of the things that the producers have in the season.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's another work. You have to make the people get habituated that they have to consume what there is in that season.
Uh-huh. And the project is still alive also after the pandemic.
Yes,
No?
yes, it's still alive. The market also stills now, but the people that can go because they work, because it's just the market is just one day a week in a specific schedule. So the people that can go, they know that they can now ask also in a WhatsApp now or a call phone. So
Mhm.
that's the project.
Okay, nice. And are you doing it alone or are you doing it with a group of friends?
A group. It's a group of 5, and each one makes different things to make it happen.
Okay, wow, super nice.
And the producers also, they are a big group.
Mm-hmm.
They are part of it.
Yeah, it's great, no, to create a network,
Yes.
a strong network in this way.
Yes.
And Pasang, can you also explain us how you managed to introduce the Sherpa cuisine inside the hotel? Because I think it's something, I don't know if anywhere else in the world it exists, that a hotel has an indigenous kitchen. For me, when I heard it, I was like, wow, no, this is really, really innovative. So can you explain us how everything started and how it works?
So I've started it before I was before COVID. We had similar situations, similar problems, but more like in our family, we were just eating the delivery foods and everything. And after that, when the COVID slowly, what do you say, slowly turned down, yeah, we can say that. I started working again, and at that time, I had a privilege to operate the restaurant. It's actually the hotel has a restaurant, different, which is a different part. So I had the privilege to rerun the menus. So my mom was the one who gave me the idea.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "Okay, you have the chance now."
Credits to the mom then.
Yeah, credit to my mom. And the makers are my grandmothers and my grandparents from the village actually. So some of the products has to be brought from my village to the restaurant.
Is it far away?
It is actually, it's actually far. In our village, the airways are quite difficult, so we have to take a bus, and the bus is bus or a vehicle, any vehicle. So It's you have to travel a whole day
Mm.
to get to the village, actually. And air, still do have airways, but it is very dangerous. Actually, our airways is one of the most dangerous airport in the world.
Why?
Uh, have you guys ever heard about Lukla Airport?
No.
You should see that. It's like the most dangerous. Is the runway. It goes and here's a big mountain, so you have to U-turn it. So the plane comes like this, and it has to U-turn like this.
Okay, so some
The
of
runway
these
is very
planes they
small.
crash against the mountain.
Yeah, there has been a lot of incidents like that.
Okay.
I am very scared to travel on a plane like to my village, so I would rather prefer a bus.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
Definitely.
that way. We did it on a smaller scale. I was not very confident that people would like it because they have not seen the menus, they have not seen the ingredients before. So I was like on a not so much skeptic level, but we ran it somehow. My uncle, very supportive. His name is Wangdan. He's also a Sherpa, so he was very supportive of me. We ran through it, and somehow it's getting along. Now I have I'm positive that I can do that on a different. I can open my own restaurant and I can run it as a business that we can only just sell the indigenous dishes. And actually, there are a lot of indigenous cultures in our country and a lot of different dishes. So maybe I'm also thinking that we can introduce all of it in one place.
Yeah. And how does people living in the city? How do people living in the city react to the indigenous food?
The first time I had to really explain through the menus because the Sherpa names are quite difficult to pronounce and they really don't know the ingredients before. Some of them do, but few herbs and few small things um, are not known to everyone. So you really have to bring a photo and show them. Oh, so this is this, and this has this kind of benefits. So there's one called rumba. Rumba is a plant, same like a chives. It's called chives, garlic chives here in English. It's the the um, the production in our village, since it is a very high altitude, so it has a different kind of requirement to grow. So it is mostly found in the high altitude. So it has to be brought all the way to our place. I had to show them. So this is made from this, and it has this kind of benefits. So I had to really run through so everyone's like, so what am I eating? Is it okay? Is it like deep fried or something and like that? So I had to run through it, but people got used to it.
And do they like the taste?
Yeah, I've seen many faces that's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But some are like, since the food of Sherpa is for the winter situations, because
Because
we
it's
live in the high altitude
Uh-huh.
and we have to have a hot things every time. So most of the foods are designed to be hot. So it's a little problem is that in summer people do not prefer it a lot, but in winter they're like, yes, we're going to eat a Sherpa food today. Yes, and especially tourists, they're very. There's one special food that is very similar to the pancake. So, but the pancake that we call it Ziki Curry. It means it is totally made out of potatoes, potato pancake. If I have to translate it to English, it's a potato pancake. It's more like you have to grind the potatoes and make a pancake out of it. And with it, we're very spicy people. We like spicy and masalas a lot. So we have a pickle as well. And the pickle is made from sherkim. It's
What is
Sherkim, yeah. So this is the situation I have to face every time in the restaurant. So Sherkim means it's a pickle made out of um, butters, which we ferment and preserve it for a long
Butter?
time. Yeah, butter, but I don't see this. I have to explain it. So we have to. It becomes mushy. How do you say?
Uh-huh.
It? Yeah. So if we preserve it long enough, it has a different kind of taste. It's kind of a little bit smelly, but we like the smell,
Uh-huh.
and we preserve it for a long, long time.
But so let me understand. Like you have like a butter, then
Uh-huh.
you cut it in pieces.
No, no,
and
no.
you put-
Not like a butter that Western people use.
Uh-huh.
It's more like it's the texture is more like a tofu. You know tofu?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
similar. The shape sizes and when you bite it, it's more similar. So when you keep it long enough, it becomes differently tasty.
But it's made of cow milk.
Yes, yes,
correct?
definitely.
Uh-huh.
More
So
like
it's
a
a sort
yak.
of like more cheese maybe than
Yes,
like
yes.
a.
I'm sorry about that.
We call it
But it's more made of a yak.
yak.
You know,
What
guys?
is yak? No.
Yak is a
Let's do
cow.
it again.
Yes, cow,
Uh-huh.
but from the higher altitude.
Okay.
They have like big horns and
Mhm.
very warm, like too much of fur.
Okay.
If I had a photo, then I would show you, but I don't have it right now. So it's a yak. It's very native to us.
Okay.
It normally lives on the high mountain, graziers on the high mountains. So the butter, cheese, everything's made out of it.
Okay. And then you use that pickled cheese for the pancakes.
For the pan, yes.
Mm.
So Ricky
Sounds
could.
delicious.
You should come and try it.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
that is the most people like.
Uh-huh.
Out of all the foods, the pancake, the Ricky good is the most people like. So
Mhm.
Ricky means in our language, Ricky means potato,
Uh-huh.
and kur means it's a grinded potato.
Ricky Kur.
Yes,
Okay. Wow.
totally.
We learned something.
Okay.
Nice. And Cici, would you like to tell us something also about the local gastronomy in Tlaxcala? So what are some typical products or something that you are really, really trying to preserve and that you see that it's also risking to disappear?
Okay. I think there are three ingredients where all the traditional dishes are derivated. Okay, so the corn or the maize, there are a lot of different varieties in Tlaxcala, and each one is used for a specific thing.
Mhm.
For example, there is a kind of maize, and it's used to make some kind of also like a pancake, but made of maize, and you can do it sweet or you can do it salty.
What's the name? Of
Tamales.
Tamales.
Tamales, and it's delicious. Delicious. There are another kind of maize, and it's used to make a kind of soup, a hot soup, pozole,
Mhm.
and it's very traditional to eat it in specific dates. And also the mole is it's a dish, and it's made from a lot of ingredients, principally different kinds of chili, and yes, that's another thing that you can find in my place and in Mexico in general. The tortillas, you already know tortillas, tacos. It's also made with some kind of maize. And then there is the ingredients derived from maguey. It's a kind of agave. I told you these days.
Yeah, we had a big presentation about it.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us something about that?
Maguey, it's a kind of agave, like tequila, like mezcal.
They are made with the outer
Yes,
made.
they are made with agave, but it's a different variety of agave in Tlaxcala. And from that plant, you can have a lot of different foods. From the leaves, from the flowers, from the syrup that comes from that plant, and also make transform that basic ingredients in another things. And also we have this culture of eating a lot of insects. Yes. So
Like for example, which kind of insects?
for example, I don't know the name in English, but the saltamontes,
Like
chapulines,
grasshoppers? Yeah.
grasshoppers, um, gusanos,
Like worms?
worms from the maguey.
Ah,
Yeah, that live the worms live in the roots and also in the leaves. There are two kinds of gusanos,
worms.
worms.
Are they big? Big
Yes,
worms? Okay.
yes, like
And
this.
how do you
Oh.
prepare them? Like, do you roast them? Do you?
Yes, with some oil, a
Uh-huh.
little bit of oil, or without oil, just in the fuego and
The fire?
the fire. That's all, and in
Okay.
a tortilla
I just you make a taco with the
with a
worms.
taco.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, with a lot of different kind of insects,
Uh-huh.
and maguey, maize, and a lot of things that grow in this ecosystem in association with maize and maguey that are silvestres,
Like wild
wild plants
Mm-hmm.
that grow there, because in traditional systems they don't use pesticides,
Mm-hmm.
so leaves grow, uh, and they eat that. They learn how to eat that also. The name is Colitas. Colitas is the whole group, and there are many kinds of colites, and the people knows how to use it also. They don't see these herbs as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to use the pesticide, because that grows. It's also food you can
Mhm.
eat, and also the other insects can eat from that plants.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything. No, everyone can. It's food for everyone.
They're not considered weeds.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then you think that these products they are also risking somehow to be to be extincted, or are people like stopping to grow them?
Just because they are growing now with pesticides, some producers,
Mhm.
so they can produce more in a big way. But the people, the government, the techniques come and say to the producers, you have to put this and you have to use this seed, and they do it now because it's cheaper and they can have more money.
Mhm.
And then the people in the city don't know anymore these silvestre wild things, and they don't know how to cook it. It's the same now. The producers are there with a lot of colites, and the people, I don't know how to use it. I have never tried this. The children,
Yeah, of course, if parents they already don't know how to do
yes.
it.
Yes, that's the thing. So that's the risk, but the things are there,
Okay.
and it's possible to make the people know that it exists, and they can learn how to use it. But this activity, it's very necessary to educate the people, to let them know how they can use the local stuff, the benefits of eating that.
Yeah.
I think that's the work.
And are you also doing that? Like, are you giving like workshops on how to use these plants, or somehow raising awareness on, yeah, like local quelites, local
Colitis.
weeds?
Yes, we have to do it more,
Mhm.
because, for example, I'm not a cooker. I don't know how to cook many things, but in the group there are a lot of very good chefs, very good cookers, very good everyone. So we have done this thing of laboratorios del gusto.
Mhm.
Uh,
Like taste workshops.
yes,
Yeah.
like takes workshops. And that's the way, because the people go, the people enjoy, the dishes are beautiful, so you get the curious to the people. And then in the workshop, the cooker and also the producer is invited, so they both can talk about the ingredient, the principal ingredient that you are trying to communicate. So that's a good thing to do. but we need to do it more, I think.
Mm-hmm. And do you believe that it is actually possible to feed the city, in this case, the city of Tlaxcala, just or mainly with the products that are grown there? I mean, ideally, like in our 2050 world, do you see that it's something that could happen or not that much?
Yes, I think so, but it's just to organize as consumers and as producers to make it possible. No, we in the city have to organize to look for the local producers, and the producers have to organize to produce enough and more. They can see that they can produce more because it's
There's
sure
a
that they are
market.
going to
Yeah.
to sell the product. No?
Mm-hmm.
And motivate the young people to also grow food. And we in the cities also have to grow some food to be producers also of something now, or transform, or I don't know. But I think it's possible, but it needs a lot of work. Yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. And so, Mpazang, I wanted to ask you. So, since you are using ingredients for your restaurants that come from your communities, and also, I guess some of the ingredients you buy them in the city, no, like I don't know, fresh vegetables, maybe or something that you can find there. No, I guess that there is like a balance between the two. Where,
Yeah, we have to buy some of the vegetables like the ingredients that goes with potatoes, like oil, vegetable oils.
yeah,
It
like
might be
basic.
yeah, the basic things.
Uh-huh.
We have to buy from the cities. We cannot go all the way back and come back.
Exactly, because you also said that it's far away and
Yes.
everything. But I wanted to ask you, for example, in the case of the ingredients that you get from your community, do you see that the fact that you are using these ingredients, that you are buying these ingredients, helps the community somehow? Are they like growing more of it because there is a market in the city? Have you seen a positive response from the community?
Yes, it has. In some case, it does have helped. Um, People, when I go back to my village, they will know that this guy has come back to get some more. And when I do that repetitive, they will be making it ready for me to come and take it. So before that, they always used to like keep it for themselves only. So it does have seemed to be very helpful. For now, it's just me, and there might be some other people as well, which I don't know yet. But if we keep on doing this, they will know that there's more demand coming on. So we need to grow it more. We need more people. We need more resources. So it is definitely helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Small steps, but we want it slowly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
And when the pancakes are gonna,
Oh,
like everyone wants to buy those pancakes, then the
Definitely.
demand
Actually,
increases.
I have a picture over here. If anyone see
Yeah.
it.
But you have to describe it because some people are watching us live and others they're just gonna listen to the audio. So if you're showing a picture, then describe it.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So this is the book that I've written.
Uh-huh.
It's very colorful because the young people are fascinated by the images and everything. I wanted to write it a long one, but people are like, it's boring to read, so I had to write it. So this describes about our Sherpa cultures,
Mm-hmm.
from the birth, from the place we come from, and the festivals we do, and how we live, what we drink, what we eat, everything, along with the recipes of our cuisines.
So can I find the recipe of the pancakes in there?
Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Okay.
Yes, totally. So I'll just show you where it is. Let me go through it.
It's sweet or is
It's potato, so it's spicy. So this is the one. This one, yeah.
So it's green. Why
Yeah.
does it look green?
It's garlic chives. No, this one is the pickle. Like I said, shirkim.
But then
It's-
in the pickled cheese,
It's a butter.
green.
We
The butter,
yes,
the pickled
in-
butter, it's
in here
Green?
in here. No, this is shirkim, which is a pickle. made from
They are
the.
two different things then.
yeah,
I thought that the butter was pickled.
Oh, it's the butter is like olive oil in Italy.
Yeah,
We use
okay.
it for everything. So this one is the pancake made out of potatoes.
Yeah.
This one is called sherkim. You can use a different ingredient as you like.
If you should, yeah, exactly.
So this one over here,
Uh-huh.
I don't think people can see it because it's small. So this one is made out of potato. We call it Ziki.
Mm-hmm.
Smashed the Ziki Curry. And the one in the middle, this guy is pouring it. This is called sherkim. We prefer it more like a spicy pickle. And this one is butter. So
Yeah.
butter for us is like olive oil for here.
Mm-hmm.
We use it for everything. For instance, we have our own tea.
With butter?
Yes, with butter.
Tea with butter?
Yeah, butter. We call it sucha in our language, which is made out of salt
Mm-hmm.
and butter. So it's called butter tea.
Wow. It looks
You-
quite thick, actually.
It is. It is. It's very cold, so we have to. We
To drink calories.
In our village, butter tea. Uh, we drink it like 10 times a day. It's like a wine.
Oh, wow.
Actually. So it's very famous. It's cold. So what do you want to do? Let's drink butter tea.
Let's drink some butter.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. We have a thermos. You know thermos, right?
Thermos, yeah.
Full 3-4 thermos full of butter teas.
Okay.
Like yeah. Okay, pour some more. But yeah, we keep on doing it. So here I have like 5-7 recipes of the main dishes of our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of you might know momos. Do you know momos?
No.
Momos
What
are
is
like
momos?
dumplings. Do you know
Dumplings, yes.
Let me go through. Where is it? Here's the picture of momos.
Mm. It looks a bit like the Chinese dumplings.
Yeah, it is. No,
Yeah.
this one, the origination is from China.
So then you adapted it,
Yeah.
let's say.
Our culture, Sherpa, is a Tibetan ethnic group.
Mm-hmm.
So few, like even this dress that I'm wearing,
Yeah.
it's called chuba in our language.
Mm-hmm.
And Tibetan people, we Bhutanese people, we share the somehow similar cultures. So if you see any Tibetan people wearing this, it's same.
Can you describe it for the people that don't see you? So you have like it's partially gray. Which cloth is that? Is it cotton?
It is cotton. You can make
Cotton.
the preferences are yours, but the design has to be like this.
Okay.
So it does have two arms,
Uh-huh.
but we prefer it to be.
So you
wearing
can
one side.
take out one arm
Yes.
and put it
If
inside.
it's
Okay.
too cold, then you wear it like this.
Okay.
If it's not, then you have to sew one side. So
Mhm.
I'm wearing shirt today. I should not be wearing shirt today, but I have
It's a
to go
bit
to the
cold
airport.
too.
I have to go to the airport, so I have to change the dress. But inside, we have a different shirt. Inside we have. Last time I was wearing it, so inside there's different one. We show one part here of the inside cloth, and this one here. So like, if I wear it like this, you cannot see the inside cloth. So you just wear it completely.
You can only see like because now there is basically one golden part close to the hand, then everything is gray, and then there is like another
Line.
golden part inside that it's like folded towards the outside.
It's
So
more
it looks like
our
a belt.
colors. Yeah.
It looks like
Yes, collar, belt, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then when you close it, you don't see. Then you only have golden on the hands.
If I close it, it will be like, it will be, if I take my hands out, this one, it would be something like this. It's a complete cloth.
Yeah.
And we have to like, you would only see this much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Nice,
more,
very
it is more
beautiful.
like a jacket as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cold, so we have to get something warm.
Of course.
And this one is actually thin. The cloth is thin because I'm currently Indian. In our culture, it's quite thick. So you'll be like butter tea.
Okay. And butter, yes.
Yes.
So now you're not drinking butter tea in Italy, I guess.
No, I really miss my butter teas.
But in Kathmandu, even if it's a bit warmer than like near the Mount Everest, you still drink butter tea.
Yeah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, because you have to make it, and we also put it's called a champa.
Mm-hmm.
It's made out of you grind the barley or the
Yeah.
wheat, and you have to like to make it thick. You have to put the powders of the champa. I'll show you to you again.
What is tamba?
Champa is
Chamba.
yeah like this.
Is it powder or
It's a powder. You have to grind the barley.
barley? Ah,
Barley.
okay.
You know, barley, wheat,
Yeah.
anything. So we put some of it. So it's like this when it's finished,
Mm-hmm.
and you can mix with hot water and eat like this.
Uh-huh.
But you can also make it semi-solid like this.
Okay.
This is we call it pak. So
Fuck.
we use butter and some sugar.
Really?
Yeah, like to like the butter has a different taste, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like make it, you have to use your hand to shape it and just like eat it like this. Simply
Mhm.
like a snacks. It's more like a snacks.
Okay.
And if you're feeling very cold,
Yeah.
get some butter tea,
Uh-huh.
mix with samba, and make it like this.
Okay.
So this one is called chamdur. We call it chamdur. I've written the names. And this one is just simple chamba.
Yeah.
This is the. Okay, I'm sorry. I keep on
And
forgetting.
but also in Mexico you have something similar, right?
I was just thinking about that.
Well,
Uh-huh.
the cultures and communities are quite similar.
Yeah.
So is the problems.
That's the beauty.
Yes.
What's the name of the
Pinole.
pinole?
Pinole,
So you
made
ground
from corn.
the corn,
Oh.
right?
Yes.
And also you make like a sort of powder and then you
Yes.
add water without butter.
Yes, without butter. We must try. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
we
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. And yeah, I like before ending the episode, I also wanted to reflect on one issue that came out also during the SFYN tank, which was the main activity that the Slow Food Youth Network organized at Terra Madre, and we had one of the issues which was actually that maguey and corn farmers are actually turning to wheat production for beer industry. So maybe you can tell us a bit about that situation, what happened, and then so that people that are listening to this podcast are aware of that.
Okay. Yes, basically that's what is happening now. No, the maguey and maize ecosystem it's being replaced uh, of with and barley cultives from the industry of the beer and the bread. And the agricultors feel more comfortable putting this in their spaces because it's profitable. And maguey, you need a lot of time to make it grow and to have the products. So maybe 10 to 15 years, and this and the wheat and it's in 1 year, maybe. No, it's and the industry sell to the said to the producers. I can pay you now. I can pay you
Quick
now. You
money,
have your
Yeah,
money
quick money.
Mm-hmm.
now, and you don't have to wait 10 or 15 years to grow the maguey and to do all this stuff. So that's the situation. In SFYN Tank, we were thinking with our team, trying to look for a solution or something that can reduce this replacement.
Mm-hmm. And what did you come up with?
An agave fest.
Yeah, we came up with an agave fest.
Agave fest, like a terra madre of maguey.
Nice.
Yes.
To make people aware of the situation,
Yes.
right?
Hashtag agave every day.
Oh, nice.
Agave
Yeah, we came up with the hashtag as well.
Yes.
Great. So we can have agave every day in Tlaxcala and butter tea every day
Yes.
in
Yes.
Nepal.
That's true.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you so much, guys. It was super interesting, and it's great to see like two such different cultures that are really amazing and with a great food culture. I want to get one of the booklets, Pasang, so I can learn how to make
You can take this book.
the potato, the
It's very
potato pancakes.
Okay.
And Cecilia, thank you so much. Also because you've been improvising the whole interview. Like I found her outside
Thank you.
outside the golden container. Like, hey, Ceci, do you want to be interviewed this morning for a podcast? Yeah, why not?
The destiny.
Yes, there is a reason why
Yes,
you're
there is a
here.
reason.
So thank you so much. And today, it's the last episode we're recording at Terra Madre. So for the next ones, we're gonna be back to our virtual studio. And thank you so much for our listeners. And see you in the next episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, bye.